Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, Sony reverses course on PS3 and Vita store closure. Sony announced, you've written here today, Vin, so that's...
Not today anymore.
It
was about a week ago.
Sony announced it will no longer shut down the PlayStation Store for PS3 and PS Vita users. Recently, we notified players that PlayStation Store for PS3 and PS Vita devices was planned to end this summer, wrote Sony's interactive president and CEO, Jim Ryan, on the PlayStation blog. Upon further reflection, we'll come back to that. However, it is clear that we made the wrong decision here. So today I'm happy to say that we will be keeping the PlayStation Store operational for PS3 and PS Vita devices. PSP commerce functionality will retire on July 2nd, 2021 as planned. Wow, reading's hard.
They're just killing the PSP basically, but they're keeping the Vita and they're keeping the PS3, which is fine because you can actually play... I think, you can play PSP games on the Vita. So if they keep the Vita store open, then you can still buy PSP games. So it still exists in some capacity.
I think the number of PSP consumers at this stage, I mean, you haven't been able to buy it from a shop in a while. It's going to be secondhand, and it's going to be...
This is the difference. Like, I don't think the PlayStation Portable was too soon. Like, they could have, if they announced that, like a couple of months ago, like saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to sunset the PSP out," everyone would be like, "Yeah, it's time."
It wouldn't make any headlines, would it? No.
No, no one would care because the PSP came out like before the PS3, I think. Yeah, it was a while ago, so it was kind of like, yeah, that makes total sense to sunset out. But the fact that the Vita is backwards compatible in that respect, like it's not the end of the world.
What I don't like about this statement is that they say upon further reflection. It's like, it's not upon further reflection in the slightest. It's a reversal of what you wanted to do because of the backlash from the media and fans. Just say that, because then the out of the box statement is, we've heard you, we've heard what your values are, and we're making this decision based on what you said. That's well, I know it's not a paraphrase, but there's a paraphrase there somewhere that they could have taken out of the bag to say, like, we heard you. That's the phrase I was looking for. Yeah, we heard you. We'll be reversing this decision.
Yeah, it was interesting to see something like saying we weren't expecting people to be like I'm paraphrasing, but like they weren't expecting people to be so passionate about it. Basically, it's like we heard the passion or whatever it was, and I was like, really? Like you didn't
ask like 3 people in the room,
right? You didn't focus test this,
or they did, crazy. And they just didn't care enough. It's very odd. Like they're either out of touch or they're lying and they just wanted to do something, or the third option is they are clearing the path and making way for something new.
Yeah, I mean, it's because we're in the dark about this. This is the problem. Like, if they were a bit more open about it, or if we had all the facts, which we don't at the moment, like if they are setting up something in the background, because if they are like the perfect answer to Game Pass would have something to do with backwards compatibility, in my opinion, like for a PlayStation platform anyway. You've got a whole PS1, PS2, and PS3. You could definitely port Vita games to the console as well, because they don't do anything fundamentally weird apart from like the touchpad, which is at the back, which you could totally convert to the touchpad on the DualSense. So there's no reason why they couldn't convert all of this sort of stuff to the PlayStation 5 in some capacity. If they did have that, then yeah, kill the old stores because you've got something else coming in the pike. But if you haven't, then we need to know about that sort of thing. And I think because if there is something coming in the pipe, then they really should have, done this the other way around. And announced the new thing and then be like, okay, we're going to sunset the old stuff because then that's hidden. But it's like basically this whole situation just tells me that they haven't got anything in the pipe for that whatsoever, because they wouldn't have, like, unless they're just that stupid, which I don't think they are. There's a lot of very intelligent people at Sony. I would like to hope that they, are just sunsetting this thing out, and yeah, it's very odd. Like the whole thing was bizarre, but yeah, you're right. Like this whole, like the PR BS that they gave with it was kind of it was a bit on the nose. So like, really, like, come on, we know like Twitter like got a hashtag going and everyone was annoyed and angry, rightfully so to some extent.
Yeah.
And you reversed, like it's like you said, if they just admitted that and sort of like, yep, we hear you. Like it's a good point. Like we realize that this is probably a bit too soon. We thought we were a bit further down the line than this, but we understand and we're gonna keep it alive just for you guys.
Yeah, if the message was we underestimated how much you guys loved this, it's a positive message.
Absolutely.
And it was, I think it was just a bit too corporate,
right,
for me. I didn't like
but
that.
I mean, I think that's the way that Sony's going now. I think they're back on top and they know it, and they're trying to reverse back to being that corporate sort of figure, which I think this is why Jim Ryan has gotten a lot of backlash. I don't think it's really anything to do with his decisions, because anyone else would have made these sort of decisions, but his sort of his approach to it and how he's like not communicating with gamers, and it's just him. He's trying to be the CEO and the face of the company at the same time, which isn't really working at this point in time. Like, who knows? Like at E3, he might come out and give like his whole sort of experience. But I think, like there's been a few journalists mentioning this, but like Jim Ryan really doesn't have a message yet. Like he hasn't got a voice like with the community. He's just like cardboard cutout of CEO at the moment, and this sort of reinforces that. This whole the way that this really cardboard cutout sort of statement was put out, it's kind of like at least do a video or something, like it could have been, it could have made this so personal.
It's a good opportunity to build some bridges up and put a stamp on a personality and get a bit of a rapport going with gamers. Well, I mean, they're winning financially.
I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, like people are voting with their wallets and they don't care. Like, I think like as much as I am passionate about this sort of stuff and like talking about how CEOs should like deliver their message and they should come out on these videos and be like, oh, my favorite PS3 game was this. And you're right, we should keep these games alive. Like that, while I think that's important, obviously there's a lot of other people out there that don't. Like the PS5 is still sold out. They're selling gangbusters. So who the hell am I to say anything?
So it's working. So like faceless corporate machine is what makes money, it seems, in this economy.
Yeah, and,
well,
and the PlayStation stands will come out and defend them until the end of the world anyway. So it's a very weird time, but we'll see.
We shall see what happens. I mean, this E3 season is going to be might change 100%. We might go over 360 on this, or 180.
I see what you did there. 360. No, that was a bad joke. Ignore me. Like I'm off my rocker. The only thing I will say about this whole PlayStation thing reversal is we should give credit where credit is due. Like at the end of the day, they did reverse on this sort of stuff. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's awesome because now my PSP my PS Vita isn't going to die. And I love playing games on that thing. Like playing through Persona 4 was like one of the greatest things that I ever had on that system. And everyone that's got a Vita has played Persona 4 Golden, and everyone knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's nice that all this stuff is staying alive, and I can still play PS1 games on my Vita or my PS3, and I can just buy them still. So that's still very cool.
Yeah, I think it's important as well. Yeah,